Since Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings emerged, many fans have wondered, what if Frodo's journey had taken a different path? Typically, Frodo treks from the Shire, enduring countless trials to destroy the One Ring. But what if, rather than trudging through the dead marshes, Frodo was carried? Could the Eagle's intervention have saved Middle-earth sooner, or would it have sparked new perils? Join us as we explore what could have been if the Eagles brought Frodo to Mount Doom. Before diving into this theory, let's quickly revisit the Lord of the Rings book trilogy. This masterpiece, the product of Tolkien's lifelong creative vision, was partially inspired by his experiences during both world wars. Decades later, it was skillfully adapted into a film trilogy by director Peter Jackson, captivating audiences worldwide. However, one lingering itch that has puzzled fans since the release of The Return of the King, the perceived gap in the Eagle's involvement in Frodo's dangerous mission. To understand the issue, we need to discuss the broader context of the War of the Ring. During the Second Age, there lived a Maya, powerful yet not the most potent of his kind, who became a Dark Lord bent on ruling Middle-earth. This was Sauron as we now know him, who created the ring to dominate Middle-earth. Unable to withstand Sauron alone, the elves and men formed the Last Alliance. Though they defeated Sauron in battle, the ring was not destroyed and waited for its master's return. Moving on to the events of The Lord of the Rings, Frodo inherits the One Ring from his uncle, Bilbo, and is eventually tasked with casting it back into the fire in which it was forged. Thus begins the perilous thousand-mile journey that forms the heart of the Fellowship of the Ring. In the trilogy, the Eagles swoop in to rescue Frodo and Sam at the end of their journey. But if they could pull off such a rescue, why didn't they intervene earlier and save everyone tremendous peril and heartbreak? The first obstacle to the Eagles transporting Frodo is simple feasibility. The Eagles are not boundless Maiar spirits endowed with infinite strength and endurance. For instance, in The Two Towers, Chapter 6, The King of the Golden Hall, when Gwaihir the Windlord rescues Gandalf from Isengard, he asks the Windlord, "How far can you bear me?" Gwaihir replies, "Many leagues yet, but not unto the extreme distant. And I was sent to bring messages, not heavy loads." The dialogue highlights that, majestic and powerful as he is, Gwaihir has constraints both in the weight he can carry and in the distance he can cover without rest. So let's think. Throughout all adaptations, we know that the burden of the ring grows increasingly heavier for the ring-bearer. As Frodo grew closer to Mount Doom and Sauron, the ring became unbearable. There may have been other elements at play for Frodo, but the fact remained the same. The ring became too heavy a burden. Therefore, could Gwaihir, the mightiest of the Eagles, truly bear the greatest weight of all? Furthermore, in Jackson's films, Gwaihir rescues Gandalf from Saruman's tower after the wizard sends a plea for help via a moth. But in Tolkien's books, Gwaihir arrives not because Gandalf summoned him, but because Radagast the Brown had asked him to seek out the wizard. This subtle difference highlights that the Great Eagles are not at Gandalf's beck and call, but that they are autonomous beings with their own priorities. While they assist in pivotal moments, the Eagles prefer to remain removed from Middle-earth's everyday struggles, only intervening when it suits their interests. And although the Eagles were not under Gandalf's command, Gwaihir seems to owe him a debt. When Gandalf asks the Windlord to save Frodo and Sam from Mount Doom, he says, "Twice you have borne me, Gwaihir, my friend. 3 times will pay for all, if you choose." This suggests that the Great Eagle might share Gandalf's enmity towards Sauron, especially given that Gandalf once saved Gwaihir from an orc's poisoned arrow during the events of The Hobbit. Each of these moments, however, involved far lower stakes. flying directly into a fully fortified Mordor would be suicidal, even if Frodo managed to destroy the ring. Gandalf would not have asked Gwaihir to attempt such a mission. When Gwaihir does enter Mordor in The Return of the King, it is only after Frodo destroys the ring, causing Sauron's eye to collapse and the Witch King to fall. All this put together makes the idea of transporting Frodo and the ring to Mount Doom not only impractical, but likely impossible, particularly under Sauron's watchful gaze. Tolkien's own letters also shed light on the issue. Early attempts to adapt Tolkien's work for the screen often misinterpret certain elements, with one treatment by Morton Grady Zimmerman falling particularly short. Tolkien criticized Zimmerman's 55-page film treatment for overusing the eagles, calling them a dangerous machine. He used the eagles sparingly to preserve their mystique and to avoid diminishing the story's suspense and stakes. Tolkien knew that the eagles could not be a cheap solution. Jackson's films used them sparingly, but Zimmerman had the eagles fly to the Shire at the very start. Tolkien knew this risked derailing the story of Frodo's deliverance. Even if the eagles were powerful and willing to help, their size would alert Sauron, the Nazgul, and the entire forces of Mordor. If Frodo and the eagle failed, Sauron would reclaim the ring immediately. Thus, the Fellowship needed to proceed covertly. If Frodo perished along the way, another capable warrior might still retrieve the ring on foot. Another question is whether the ring might have corrupted the eagles if they carried it directly. Gandalf himself refused to carry the ring, as he is aware that the more powerful a being, the more susceptible they are to Sauron's corruption. The eagles are not just ordinary birds. They are magnificent creatures with a rich and complex history. The eagles are descendants of the great eagles who were sent to Middle-earth in the First Age by Manwë to be his eyes and ears and help against Morgoth. Now they are sentient and intelligent beings who have a strong connection to the Valar and serve as their messengers and allies. They play significant roles throughout Tolkien's works. Whilst interesting, centering the eagles would require a fundamentally different story, shifting the focus from friendship, sacrifice, and resilience to one exploring their motivations. While this could be intriguing, it would sacrifice the relationships that make The Lord of the Rings enduring. The characters' journeys and growth are what make the story timeless. Without these elements, the tale would lack the same emotional richness and impact. For example, Aragorn's path from mysterious ranger to King of Gondor depends on his trials, through which he earns his role as a leader. We would also be robbed of the rivalry-turned friendship between Legolas and Gimli, and the growth of Merry and Pippin from carefree youth to warriors of Middle-earth. Each of these characters has a unique arc that makes the story more layered and resonant. And we cannot forget Samwise Gamgee, who is often considered the story's true hero. The Eagle's intervention would have not only deprived Sam of the chance to show his courage and devotion, but the fate of the Shire would still be in ruins. It was Sam who played such a crucial role in restoring the Shire from Saruman's devastation. It is his newfound bravery that we see when he stands up to Saruman's ruffians and goblin men. Let's also not forget that it was his loyalty to Frodo that was rewarded with a gift of soil and a seedling from Gladriel. Once Saruman was cast out, Sam goes around the Shire planting saplings to replace lost trees, giving each one a grain of the dust from Gladriel's garden. This gives all the hobbits of the Shire their one last breath of hope and introduces a new age of rejuvenation and renewal for the land. What other alternatives do you have to this theory? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more Middle-earth content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.